Okay, cohort 13. Miss Hernandez here, and today we're going to spend a little time talking and working with the sickle. And we've already talked a little bit about it in terms of design and cross section when you cut it, the working end. What kind of design would you see? And that would be a triangle shape. Okay, so just for purposes of demonstration, I've got an extracted, well, it's just a tooth model here. It's a central. And so I just want to go over a little bit our sequence for our strokes, okay? So here's my typodont that I'm going to be using in just a little bit. So it's my guess, and you are dental anatomy experts now, that this is tooth number 8. All right, so this is going to be right here, sort of, okay, but it's just a little bit enlarged. But I'm going to show it to you a little bit on the typodont as after we do this part. Okay, so with tooth number 8, as you would with any anterior tooth, we always work by sextants. Okay, so we've done our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with our with another instrument or whatever, but now we're going to start on the anteriors. That's number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So we're going to start at number 6. All right, and what we're going to be doing with every anterior tooth, we're going to be dividing that with an imaginary line right down the center of the crown of the tooth, okay? And remember that the tip, the point, the working end are the headlights, all right? So when you're working with this instrument, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be placing this lower 1/3 working tip, and you're only going to be going, maybe a millimeter or two underneath the margin. So let's say if this were a healthy gingiva, the margin of the gingiva would be right around this area right here. So for sakes of demonstration, we're going to start at the midline, okay? And so we're going to keep our handle parallel because we don't have any bends or shanks in here that make us, because the tooth is so anterior, as it sits in the mouth, this terminal shank is going to be parallel along with the same lines that the handle of the tooth is. So we're going to start here at the midline, and I'm just going to show you what we're going to do in terms of adaptation. So you place it right there. Okay, there's my working end, and then you're going to stroke down. Okay. And then your working stroke is the down stroke, okay? The down stroke. So you've got to pick yourself up, but you don't really let go of the surface of the tooth. You just release your pressure. You go down. This is kind of a chalky type of material, okay? Now, the thing that's important about working with a sickle scaler is that every time that you move the instrument down, you're doing another thing besides holding it and activating it. You're also rolling it so that you can maintain this lower working end to the tooth surface. Okay, if I did not adapt this, if I didn't roll this and just kept going and kept going and kept going, you can see that working end, that point, would ultimately go into the gingiva, and that's not what you want to do. So it's a continuous movement for you to work it and roll it and work it. And you can see that my instrument grasp, my terminal, my functional shank, my third finger is right up here on the side of my middle finger. I'm having to fulcrum on this tooth itself because it's the only one that we have right now. But typically we're going to be like 1 or 2 teeth away from the tooth that we're actually working on. Okay, so every time I go down, I'm rolling and rolling, and you can see by the letters and the numbers because the tooth is not moving. The tooth is going to stay here. What you're going to be doing to enhance you and to give you more accessibility is to have your patient turn a little bit like this, so that when you actually start working midline, your patient's already aligned a little bit towards you to give you that oomph that you need to get you around that. Because if they were here and the patient didn't turn towards you, you'd still have to adapt to go around it, but it would just give you it just gives you a little bit more and keeps you from having to lean over and see what it is you're doing, because again, you're relying on you understanding the shape of the instrument and you relying on where it is you're going.